Hi, Nancy Showalter here, and these are your magical minutes for an awesome week. We are on week 6 of 7 secrets to ageless living. And see, this number 6 is use the tools at your disposal. Now, we've touched on some of this through these lessons as well as other weeks. However, I want to focus on one specific tool today. Now, when I'm talking about tools, I'm talking about self-transformation tools that you have available to you. And those can be everything from the inner child work, where you work with yourself, meditation, EFT, which is emotional freedom technique. Some of you may be familiar with that. There are all kinds of things now that we can use to help free ourselves, once again, of burdensome energies, navigate through life so that it's less stressful and we can eliminate stress in our life, because stress is one of the things that truly takes away from our youthful, ageless living. So stress is very difficult and challenging for the physical body and every other way. So you want to relieve stresses in your physical world, and we've talked about that through these lessons, and you want to relieve stress through your emotional and psychological level, which is equally, if not more important than even the physical level. But you're a whole being, so it's necessary to do all of these levels. And using the tools, you can find so many tools these days, whether it's in books or on the internet, wherever it is, videos, audios, all kinds of things that can help you in healing every aspect of your being. And the more we heal, the longer we stay young and youthful and vibrant and creative in our life. So one of the things I want to talk about today, one specific tool that maybe you may or may not be familiar with, is called Ho'oponopono. Now, this funny name comes from the Hawaiian tradition and the Hawaiian culture. It's an ancient form of finding resolution between people, and of course it can apply within yourself. But I want to tell you about a very remarkable experience. Now, Dr. Hugh Len is one person in the modern age who has kind of modernized this technique, and not only modernized it, but he took it to a very high level. He's a psychologist, and he worked in Hawaii. He worked in a institution for the criminally insane. And this institution was, you can imagine, it was very difficult. People, found it burdensome to go to work. The people were out of control. It just was really a very difficult situation. So he was hired to counsel and work with these people. Now, what did he do? He applied the Ho'oponopono technique, and I'll explain what that is in a moment. But I want to tell you the results that he had and how he did it, because he never met with any one of these people. He took their files, and he would look at their files, he would apply the Ho'oponopono technique, and that's all he did. But ultimately, that place was transformed, and the workers did not mind going to work. The people calmed down. They actually were healed, and the place eventually closed. Now, let me tell you about this technique if you're not familiar with it. It's based on the understanding that we are all one. And anything that comes into your consciousness, into your awareness on an everyday, whatever that is, we have some responsibility for it, because we're all one. And if it's coming to our attention, then it's something we need and want to deal with to heal. So Ho'oponopono really treats it as if it is part of you. And so what it involves is these 3 steps, or 4 steps, 4 statements that you make. And they're not just idle words, of course, but they are feeling and emotion behind it. And the 4 phrases that you use with the Ho'oponopono technique is 1, I love you. Please forgive me. I am sorry. And thank you. Now you may be thinking, well, I'm not responsible for these people who are criminally insane or some of these things that come into my awareness. No, maybe you're not directly, personally responsible for what that is. But once again, the concept is when this comes before your awareness and comes into your world, and we're all one, we then are responsible for healing it. So Dr. Len realized this concept in a very complete way, and he recognized that these criminally insane, as he would put their file in front of him, this was part of him that he needed to heal. And so that is what he did. I love you. Please forgive me. I am sorry. Thank you. And that is all he did with these patients for a completely transformative experience. So I would ask you this week to experiment with this and recognize once again that everything that comes into your world, you have an opportunity to heal it, to change it, to transmute the record, the energy that's behind it. And you know, we've talked in the past about the violet flame, that violet frequency, that energy frequency that is the shortest frequency on the color spectrum that we can see. And it is a transformative energy. And so you can also visualize the violet flame around situations and people and recognize that we're all one. So there's a part of ourself, a part of yourself that needs to be healed to heal the conditions in the world. A very powerful technique. I have used it with great success. So I would suggest that you use it this week. Find a situation or be aware of situations that come into your life. And instead of, wow, judging it and look at that person and look what this did and blah, 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 on and on, apply this technique and see how the situation and the people involved are transformed, including yourself. Have a great week. I'll see you next week. Until then, be happy. Don't forget that. Be healthy. Be whole. Bye-bye.